lot of teams interested in Mike Vick. You know, there's a lot of teams interested. I expect him to be on a team this next week coming up. I expect him to be signed and on the field. And I just don't buy it. I just don't think that if anyone was interested in signing Michael Vick, that we wouldn't have heard something about it by now. I just don't buy it. I don't think anybody's interested in Michael Vick, and I don't think that it's too much because of the whole instance of the dog fighting. I don't think that that's the issue. I just don't think anybody wants to bring him in to their mix right now. We're so close to the season, and a guy like Michael Vick, you kind of have to change your whole game plan. And I think what Tony Dungy is doing now is kind of sending out the vibe, you know, that people want Mike Vick. Yeah, there's people totally, you know, into Mike Vick. We're getting calls every day. There's people super into him, and it's kind of making other teams think, well, we might have to rethink this. If there's a bunch of other teams interested in Michael Vick, maybe we should take a look too. I think what he's doing is just essentially generating interest around the league. Just maybe getting people talking that wouldn't have been before because, the NFL's trendy. If 25 teams are uninterested in Michael Vick, then the other 7 teams are kind of turned off too. Like, well, they don't want him, I don't want him. And so I think Dungy's trying to just turn it around a little bit. There was too much nobody's going to sign Michael Vick stuff going around. I think that he wanted to just kind of change the perception. And I think that I think it might help. I mean, I'm not totally. I don't totally believe that he was just going to stay at home. I think somebody might sign him. I think somebody might sign him this year, but it almost seems to me like somebody's going to have to lose a quarterback. You know, somebody's going to sign him out of necessity instead of just, oh, this could be fun. We could sign Michael Vick. That could be fun. I think that it'll be like somebody will lose a quarterback and they'll say, oh, no, what do we do? Well, looks like we'll have to give this Mike Vick a go. I think that's going to be more the situation. And I could be wrong. I doubt it, but I could be. I just don't think anybody really wants to bring a guy like that into their mix right now because, I mean, we are so close to football. So close. And a guy like Michael Vick isn't just a random guy, you know, just come in and, you know, throw him in and have him kind of learn the system. Like, he's a guy you kind of have to build your system around a little bit and adjust your system and fix your... He's just not your everyday free agent quarterback. Put it that way. And if it was me, and I'd love to have Mike Vick on my team. If it was me, I'd sign Mike Vick, and I would say you might as well, you know, you might throw a few balls here, but you might as well forget that quarterback label now. I mean, if it was me, I'd sign Mike Vick, and I'd say, listen, man, you're doing everything. You're doing everything for me. You're going to throw a few balls on some gimmick plays. There will be that threat of Mike Vick actually throwing the ball because he can throw the ball. But I'd line him up in the backfield. I'd give him some handoffs. I'd make him a decoy. I'd have him returning kicks. I'd line him up in the slot. I mean, I would use Mike Vick everywhere. Oh, he's an incredible athlete. He's like one of the best running backs in the league, and he's a quarterback. And he has wide receiver speed. He's a quarterback. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you, get the ball in his hands as much as possible. Just don't make him a quarterback. That end of discussion. You know, he's so much more. He really is. He's almost a worse player if you limit him to just being a quarterback. You could use him in so many different ways. And if I'm a GM, that's what I'm looking at. Not like, how bad do I need a quarterback? I'm thinking, boy, how fun is it going to be to get a guy like this to use in our system? Mike Pendleton. What's your question, man? What was your trade? Tell me about it, because I'm gonna get into this top 10.